Welcome to the world united. Welcome to the world united.
Now we move on to a panel discussion. And I can see Ma Ambika ji, you are also there. Pranam. So we have another session just after this, a small panel discussion, a small set of questions that we have for you. Sandeep ji and Antares ji, both of you. I mean, we would want you to, tell us how wise people, how wise men, or how spiritual people, or even wise because Sandeep ji says he's not spiritual. So how wise people can get into politics, how they can join politics, how they can come here, and how to make them enter politics.
Yeah. Should I go first?
Oh, sure, why not?
So I think that's a very good question you have asked, and I think it is the responsibility of the wise, not just men, but I would say women. And these days you have to also talk of the LGBTIQ community. So any wise individual must, keep open the option of entering politics, because as Mr. Karthikeyan was saying, our politics has become very corrupt, and unless good people come into politics, it will not be cleansed. I'm sorry. So it is very important that good people, even though they may not be successful instantly, everybody cannot hope to get the kind of success that Arvind Kejriwal got in 2013 in a very short time. But we have to keep working, because it is ultimately the good people who will keep alive the values and the ethics which is necessary for a human society. And we will have to wait for the opportune time when these values will flower, when the atmosphere will be conducive so that good people can be elected to office. And there have been instances in history, in our own country, when emergency was imposed by Mrs. Gandhi. It was Jayaprakash Narayan who almost came back from retirement to lead anti-corruption movement and for what he called total revolution. So it was under his moral leadership, because he himself never contested any election. It was just like the Indian freedom struggle was fought under the moral leadership of Mahatma Gandhi, who also never contested any election or ever desired any political post. So similarly, under the leadership of Jayaprakash Narayan, this country got back its democracy after a gap of 2 years. So such people have to continuously work so that the option of a better society is alive for people to choose when the time comes. Um, the thinking in the society that politics is something bad and we should keep away from it is not correct. Thank you. You are yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'd say Gandhiji is an excellent example of, merging spirituality with politics, even Nelson Mandela for that matter. So, how do we really create this unity consciousness, all the wise leaders, so that, the world evolves in a better way? How
Well,
can we?
I don't like the word politics much because it's got to do with policy. And when people say, "Oh, this is company policy," you cannot do that, I get very angry. So policy, politics, I don't use those words. I say politics is just power, and it depends on how you understand power. Some people think power is the ability to control everybody around you, boss everybody around you, and the idea of being a master is to have many slaves. So that is a misunderstanding. To me, being a master is you master yourself. You have power over yourself, nobody else. So if you understand this power is, you can have unlimited power over yourself, but nobody else. Even if there are aspects of yourself, you only control this aspect of yourself. So if you can have that kind of truly democratic idea that I've given all aspects of myself autonomy. I cannot take it back. You all are aspects of myself. I've granted you a long time ago in some kind of decision, a moment of madness, free will, and I will not take back. I am not, as they say, Indian giver. So I've given you free will. I cannot take it back, even if I regret it every day. But every part of me, every atom is already free. So I cannot control the behavior. They will do crazy things. They will destroy entire universes. And then we will start over again, but nothing that can be done. So if you understand, power is power over ourselves. What I see is that I have found that if you activate your own energy field and you become fully conscious, you become a Buddha field, if you like, or you become sattvic or whatever you call it, you become radioactive. You go into a train, you don't have to say anything. Anything within a certain radius of your energy is already triggered, activated. And it's not even something you have to consciously be aware of. To be in your presence even for a few seconds, you're already beginning the enlightenment process for other beings around you. So by just keeping yourself at full conscious emanation, you're already spreading higher awareness. So that is one way if you can spread that, but you have to maintain that. You have to become a stable, coherent field. You have to become a Buddha, not a Buddhist. You have to stop being a coward. You have to have absolute courage, have no fear of death, have no fear of ego death. There's no real death anyway. And have no fear that people will laugh at you. You're a madman. I've been told I'm a madman. I not say, yes, anyone call me sane, I get insulted. So basically, that's how I deal with it. I just realize I'm already a madman. I can't get any more mad. And so I will do it by just maintaining a high frequency energy field and infect people with my own madness. And so when they all go mad, finally we'll achieve sanity. As Tim Leary said, you have to go out of your mind to come to your senses. So that's my approach to changing the world, not through looking in the rear view mirror at what happened in the past. In the past, somebody elected someone to be the leader, and it usually becomes a misleader. And then they don't want to take responsibility for their own power. We have to take the power back into our own center, and see that everybody is part of ourselves. And certain people have more experience in certain fields. Let's say that you're doing some kind of expedition. If you have been there, I'll follow you because you're experienced. If you're doing something else, like building a house, I have no experience. I follow you because you're the builder. So we choose our leaders according to their skill and their experience. So not just because they are able to talk nonsense and tell lies without wincing when we elect them. So look at politics. We elect some figure who is different. Let's say Donald Trump. He may be the only person who's not a politician who got into the White House, and every day they're attacking him. They hate him. Why? He's the only one who they want change, but when the agent of change comes, they hate it. They attack him. Why? Because he's not corrupt like the rest of them. He doesn't need to be corrupt. He's so rich. He's got a beautiful wife. I mean, you might not like the guy because he doesn't use big words. He's not an intellectual. He's not an academic. But he's the only person I've seen so far in my life who possibly can change things, can change the course of politics and stop making it political. Start making it just a simple, practical arrangement. Let's make a deal. He's a businessman. Win-win. He believes in win-win. Let's make a deal so that you win and I win. That's his way, but they don't like it because he's not corrupt. They're trying to get rid of him every day. So how does it work? You want a better leader, a cleaner. As soon as he comes there, you want to get rid of him. The New York Times will get rid of him. The deep state cannot tolerate it. So that's why I kind of myself given up on politics. I just said, okay, we'll just become very conscious and infect and influence people through a subtle means, through the energy field. But that's my take on it.
I like to follow what you. I really agree to what you say, Antares. I really resonate to what you're saying. It's so simple. Yes, this like especially what's happening in the government, and in U.S. or everywhere, even in my own country, from the Philippines, seeing
Oh, you're from the
politicians.
Philippines, Africa.
Yes,
I thought you're Tibetan. I
no,
thought you look Tibetan.
thank you. I get that a lot.
Not
I get
Tibetan.
my root is from the Philippines, but I'm in Hong Kong. But I really
Okay.
resonate to what you're saying is that when we hear politics and spirituality, I would really ask our viewers to invite to take a look at themselves first. What is our intention? Why do we want to enter into politics? Yes, yes, there may be a desire of, oh, we see something, we see some corruption in the government, we see money is not being spent on the right sector, we see poverty right, left, and center, but there's money coming in, but there's no money going out to the people that's really needed. I have the fair experience of that. You know, I have my NGO in the Philippines. They get destroyed by the typhoon all the time, and I'm getting help directly from my own community, not coming from the government. So I see the disconnection, I see the fragmentation, and people would ask me, why don't you run? Why don't you do this? You could help more. But then I go back to myself. I said to myself, once I get involved into politics, it's done, it's over. But what I can do now, right here in this moment, in this important time, that I don't need to get involved into politics, and yet I can make changes. First, I have to look into myself, because the outer environment is simply a reflection of myself. When I keep saying to myself, oh, you know, there's so injustice, oh, poor me, oh, but then I look at myself. Hey, 1 second, let me step back a little bit. How am I treating myself? Because like you said, what we vibrate into the field affects our environment. So whatever we carry, the view that we carry into ourselves, whatever work that we do to ourselves, or whatever work that we haven't done to ourselves, it reflects within the environment that we move into, that we are moving into. When we believe and when we remember that we are a hologram, we are a hologram, we are part of the whole. Yes, we are part of the whole. It's like when you break a glass, and that glass just exploded in 1,000 pieces. And when we
Yes.
pick up the tiny glass, and when even if we pick up the tiny broken glass, that's still a part of that big glass that's broken. So that's we are. I really see us that we are. We are that specks of broken glass of universe, of cosmos, of galaxies, of the conjunction that is happening right now in our planet with Saturn and Pluto and Aquarian, whatever that is. We are part of that. So if this is true, that we are part of, we are consciousness experiencing this reality, this existence in this human form, then even the politicians that are corrupt or not corrupt, or people that is doing really mean or bad, we are also part of that. And people that is doing good to environment, you know, people are not corrupt, or really just good people, we are also that. So if we can embrace that, yes, if we can embrace that, then that gives all the responsibility back to us. That means the change has to change inside of us. And that's where the rising of the understanding that we are a spiritual being having a human experience. Now, what does that mean? I don't need to realize that spirituality is not something that I am here, then I'm going to be like this. No, when we wake up, we realize, wow, I am actually already that. I just forgot. I forgot that I was a Buddha. I forgot that I was light. I forgot that my true essence is peace. I forgot that I'm already part of the whole. I forgot that I'm already contributing in this expanded flow of consciousness. Then when we realize and accept that, wow, everything that I do affects the field of consciousness and awareness. Now what I can do to change that, because every breath I take, every words I say, every action I move from here on, it will bring a ripples effect into the field. So again, everything starts from us. So when we decide to go into the politics, what is your intention? We really have to go in. What is your intention? Would that make
Yes,
any
this
difference?
Ambika, this is what you are saying, that we are a part and we should embrace. I'm sorry to interrupt here, but the leadership, which is the most influential, because when it comes to a nation or state, now how to make it more value based and ethical and sincere, like I realize is something different. But what about those who are not realizing and coming into politics just because the masses are such? So how, I mean, how it should reach the masses? So the
May I say
responsibility
something?
definitely lies upon ourselves. Yes, Sandeep ji. I had to interrupt Ambika. I'm really sorry for that. But
Let me
this,
say something. First of all, I am very inspired all the time when I see that glass that shattered into a million pieces, some parts are so
Yes.
beautiful, and when I find them again, and all
Yes.
of you are like pieces of that glass that I have not seen in a long time. I see you today on the street. Oh, no, these are parts of my being that are so beautiful. All of you look very beautiful. And so, what you're saying is that we must think of a plan, do an agenda, write down a schedule. This is a very left brain kind of way to try and control and manipulate and alter reality. I find that this is like doing things the way our ancestors did, and they always fail. It always got hijacked. So I'm thinking we have to completely, consciously, gently, lovingly sever that umbilical from the culture, cultural imprints, from tradition, from all the taboos, and just innovate by not following the patterns of the past. And for politics, elections, government, bureaucracies, institutions, they have come to the dead end. As far as I'm concerned, they are Kali Yuga material. And as far as I'm concerned, Kali Yuga is no more for me. Now, if you're still in Kali Yuga, you're fast asleep. Right? Because Kali Yuga is the nightmare, a collective nightmare. So if you wake up, you make yourself a cup of tea, rub your eyes. Oi, that was a terrible dream. What was that? Oh, it's Kali Yuga. So if you're still asleep, you're in Kali Yuga. So to me, I'm no longer in Kali Yuga. I already am in the golden age. Of course, not many people around me see that, but I feel it every day. My dogs know, my cat knows.
Yes. Well, this is true for you, but not for the common masses. Those who are,
No, they
going
don't
into.
They don't exist
Yes.
because they are basically characters that appear in a nightmare. So when I wake up, they are not there. Only one person exists. So when I see them, I don't get fooled by statistics. If 50 million people say the nation is good, I don't believe them. I know it's not good. So to me, all those bits of me that are still unconscious, I do not feel that I must be responsible for the awakening. Just for my sending them blessing and love and constant love, compassion. In their own time, these fragments of myself will arrive at some kind of experience that will shock them into consciousness. And I trust the universe. I perfectly trust nature. I don't want to have academic ideas of writing papers, agendas. It has always failed. Right? The ego gets involved and they become control freaks.
Absolutely
and I used
right.
to be a control freak. I used to be an emperor. I used to be pharaoh. It always failed. I got assassinated. I got betrayed. I got murdered. I don't want to go to that. never again. I free them all. I free everybody. So whether they go to hell or they go to heaven, they have to make up their mind that no one is to be blamed. It is not karma. It is not the prime minister. Is not the pope. Is not anybody. It's their own choice to direct their attention towards heaven, or they let themselves be sucked into somebody's hell. So I think now is a time that we've reached the end of one cycle of evolution. We cannot be looking at people, oh, you are the poor people, we must give you a handout. No, we are all God. Even if you appear to be a beggar, you are still God. So from that perspective, I do not feel sympathy for them. I feel empathy. And I just send them constant inspiration that one day, even though you're a beggar sleeping under a bridge on a piece of cardboard, you'll have a dream in which you were radiant and magnificent. You wake up, say, what am I doing here? And that will be the beginning of your turnaround. So I don't believe in using left brain logical agendas because that always fails. You end up being a control freak. You end up being a minister telling people this is good, this is bad. I don't think that will work. We have to respect each other. Even if you take heroin, you're a drug addict, I have to respect your choice. I don't want to go and arrest you and forcefully rehabilitate you. That is being a Nazi. That I want to do. I mean, if you want to become a failure in life, it's your prerogative, but I will not consider you a failure. You are still a part of me that is so adventurous. You went deep down into the coal mines, came out looking black, to get experience. I will say, what have you found? That's how I see it. So the political agenda is very much connected with tradition and the past. I think we need to make a complete clean break with what has been, so because it didn't work. Hello,
so ultimately, definitely, we are all a part of that whole. This is what Krishna says, Paramatma, and we are all Atmas. So it's only if people could understand that we are all interconnected. What
Yes,
we
yes.
are exhaling, the trees are, taking in, and what they are throwing out, we are inhaling. So we are even connected to nature for that matter, the closest. But the question was not this. The question was how to make such people enter into politics. I mean, should they realize their responsibility that we have? I mean, the common masses should understand that the election should be of those who are slightly, I mean, really giving in, who are doing that seva. Ultimately, the government is elected by the people. So
You
if
learn
they are
something this
coming
day.
up, it is going to be a seva kind of a thing for the public, no? So it should be naturally being honest, with that integrity. They should come up. This is what we expect. There should be no lack of ego. This is what we expect when they come as our representatives, because now they are going to work for you. That's seva bhav. And Sandeep ji and
Guilty, that's not going to happen. The system will corrupt you. But anyway, that's my opinion. I see just Rohil appeared, and he's interesting. He looks like a traditional sage, but he's a very modern. He could be a rapper. Can you say something, Rohil?
Rohel has
Uh,
just joined.
Hi,
Rohel ji, namaskar. He's just
namaste,
joined.
namaste. How is
Uh,
everybody? Good?
it's fine.
We are
We
Yeah.
are actually having a panel discussion. This is the first session going on, and it is about spirituality, good governance, and politics. Ma Tejumai, would you like to, come over? Please take over here. What are your
Take
views
over,
on this?
take over.
What are
I
your
believe
views?
my views. You
Yes.
know, the view has to be, first of all, thank you for, I'm joining. I'm both tracks. Thank you. I see you. I see your
Yes.
wonderful souls. I see your radiance, and I'm quite happy, very, very happy to see you here and to have you contribute to the planet expansion, evolution, all that is good. So I fall short of words. I really believe that we need to come in another mode of communication. I'm going to talk globally, not maybe answering or treating about the specific topic you were about here, but just sharing from my heart what comes at the present moment. All the tools we have, that are reminding us of our divinity, we have to use, expand, and devote more time to it. I think it's really, really time to set aside all that is not longer serving us in terms of the old paradigm and enter into, the vastness of who we are. For real. Like now we're communicating as we are, as I quite agree with Antares on the fact that Kali Yuga is over and we've already entered into the ascending Dwapara Yuga, which means that we are in another mode of communication globally, right?
Yes.
Nevertheless, there are still pouches, niches, groups, individuals who are in different yugas in this dimension. Globally, we are, let's say, in a certain type of dimension, but as we are multidimensional beings, those who are more awakened or enlightened even, and conscious, therefore, of their multidimensionality, might already be in this other higher dimension state of consciousness. Get my point? So we need to come forth more and more stronger, right? When I say stronger, I mean more radiating in the higher frequencies that we embody. I'm going to give you an example. As we are speaking now, we're using words which might not be appropriate to what we want to convey, as a matter of fact, because words are very limited. in the circumference of, you know, what we really are. They're limited.
Hello?
This one, okay. Oh, 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 Here we just vibrate to the frequency of 396 hertz, which is healing us, healing the cells, you know, of all the fear, the anxiety, you name it, you know, all these negative vibrations that are making us slaves, actually. So we start to free here. This is vibration, right? Frequency. I'm just giving this example because we are still using the old paradigm ways of communicating. So we need to just go within, do the work, the inner work, create more space for light, divine light, and express it. And to me, it pretty much resumed to that. And love, you know, unconditional love is the answer. It's really about that.
I
And
had a
it's very
fantasy when you
simple.
played the bell.
And for me,
So
it's
everybody
very
would drop
simple.
an instrument at a jam session.
Yes. And for me, it's very simple to achieve.
Much better than talking.
Very, very simple to achieve. I really believe that we're complicated things in all aspects unnecessarily. It's like a frenzy. It's not normal, you know? Each of us just need to be love, embody love, and that's it. Love, light. You know, it's simple. Why do we complicate? That's really my message. I don't want to say much more because it all resumes to that. And of course, we could talk about many, many other things, but the core, the essence is just that, in my opinion.
Thank you so much. So it is just basically, you know, raising your own vibrations so high that the people around you are really, you know, come under that umbrella. And of course, things might
Yes.
change, definitely will change.
Yes.
And Sandeep ji, I think he's left. Hi.
No, I'm
Sandeep ji,
here.
so would you, I mean, just give us a brilliant message from this platform on, you know, unity consciousness, that we really want the world to be united. So how it would be? Yes.
So, since the topic of this session is politics and good governance, and I completely agree with whatever Antaras was saying. I mean, when we say politics, we don't mean the kind of politics in which you try to control people's lives. See, we have this concept of self rule by Mahatma Gandhi. So he had conceived of a system where from the individual to all the administrative units and the smallest unit of administration that he had considered was a village. He had a notion of self rule where every unit of administration will be ruled by self discipline. So you would not need police or army, to control people, and people will be self motivated. So that is the kind of politics that, because you need politics, otherwise how will you govern society? The question is what kind of politics. And I completely agree with Antaras that we don't need the current politics. Although I will disagree with him on his views over Donald Trump. I don't think he represented the ideal politician or ideal person to be in power. I think the ideal person to be in power would be very humble. Would consider himself as servant of people, as you were saying. He would serve people. So politics should be an instrument of service, and the nature of politics should be such that it should encourage cooperation. People should work together. People should come together under self-discipline to set up a system, so that, because after all, all our needs have to be taken care of. I mean, we need an education system, we need a transport system, we need a communication system. If we did not have this wonderful communication system, we would not be able to communicate with each other. So how would you manage all these things? So the management of all these systems is essentially politics, and that should be done in a cooperative manner, in the interest of people, not in the interest of corporates, of the rich people. Yes, I agree that we should not have a charitable outlook towards poor people, like Antaras was saying. It should be a view, it should be an outlook of empowerment of people. So people should be empowered so that, everybody lifts themselves, and the world becomes a more equal world. We want the fruits of the modern development to be equitably distributed among people. If not perfect equality, as one of the important political thinkers of India has said, we could have rules like the maximum difference between the rich and the poor, the income levels should not be more than 10 times. So things like that. We should have rules for governance, so that we have a society where every individual, every family can lead a respectable life without discrimination based on any criteria, religion, creed, gender, whatever. So a world where people can feel equal, can live with dignity, can earn their livelihood without being exploited by anybody. So that is the kind of world that we want to build, and that is possible only through a humane politics. So politics is necessary. The only thing that we need is to change the character of that, and for that we need good people to enter politics. That
Yes.
is the basic question that you had asked.
Yes,
If
definitely.
I may interrupt again, Sandeep, I admire your beard very greatly. I've been trying to grow a bit for 400 years. This is all I have, nothing. But I do not admire your admiration for humility. I don't trust you humble people, because almost every humble person I've seen is a backstabber. As soon as they have a chance, they'll stab you in the back because they have very feeble egos. So I've come to distrust fake humility, and almost all humility I've come across is fake. From Mother Teresa, to the beggar in the street, to the hotel doorman, is fake humility. I'd rather have a genuinely arrogant person that I know I can talk to him as an equal, because we are gods, we are kings, we are all fucking arrogant, and to pretend to be humble is, to me, something like, I call it suspicious behavior. It shows that you're demeaning yourself. You're thinking you're a piece of shit when you're actually a shining star. So to me, I do not trust humility. So I don't think if a person comes to me and pretends to be humble, I will not vote for them. That's why I prefer to vote for Donald Trump. He's obviously arrogant,
Okay.
and you need to be arrogant to be an empire builder and to actually achieve things. Sorry,
Okay,
that's my. I love your beard.
Anyway, thank you. Amazing insights we have received from both of you. In fact, even Ambika, for that matter, was a part of this discussion, and Ma Tejumai also. So thank you so much. I'll have to wind up with this session because we have a next session starting at 11. That is spirituality and yoga. If you wish to stay with us, Sandeep ji and Antares ji, we can always stay back. And we'll continue and switch over to the next because I can see the participants are already here. I can see Ambika ji is here, Rohil ji is here, and even Radhesham ji has joined. So,
Well, I have no idea what to expect, but you're all very addictive. I've come to get used to seeing all of you on the screen, and I'm very happy to see all of you, even though
yeah,
Rohil said nothing, but
we are going to have another session on spirituality and yoga just after this.
well, I may
This
or
was
may not be there because I've got things to do. But anyway, I'm so delighted to see all of you on the screen. And
same here. Same
if you ever
here.
want to get in touch with me, I'm very.
I
The
would
Thank
CIA
you.
knows where
Thank
I
you
am.
so much.
You know where I am.
would love to
Thank
get
you
in-
so much for being with
Thank you all of
us.
you.
Amazing insights and very
May our
open,
orbit-
very truthful. So we've
Uh,
enjoyed.
with each other.
Antaras, can you type your email address in the chat box? Antaras.
Okay. Well, I mean, I get 95% junk mail, but I guess once in a while I get a real personal email. I will answer it.
Yeah. Please,
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you, Sandeep. You know, I hope to grow a beard like yours one day.
Yeah, and I
I will
hope
type
to.
the email.
Yeah.
This is what this platform is for. You know, that energy building up, and this is the vibration which we are going to, get across the world.
Okay. Thank you, Jyoti ji. Thank you.
Thank
Jyoti.
you.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Once again,
Thank you so much.
blessings. Thank you. Hope to see you at some point.
Sure.
Thank you, Antares. Thank you so
Have,
much.
have a blessed day. Have a blessed day. Thank you so much.
You look so familiar, Ambika.
Thank you.
I think we've met before.
We do actually.
All
That's
right.
why I understand more than what you are showing. It's what behind that I also see. Thank you. Now I know why I came onto this talk is to meet you.